Shiba Inu is acting quite seriously. Coinbase received trillions of Shiba from a gigantic whale just now. On top of that, it may have already revealed the year's next major price shift. A lot of people are going crazy. Where are the graphs? Calm down. As for the unseen side, complete anarchy. Is a breakout about to happen? Could Coinbase be preparing for a monumental event? For the time being, what does this imply for those who own Shiba Inus? Okay, I'll try to clarify. Important notice. Everyone is talking about a recent important event in the Shiba Inu world. The crypto world was rocked when Coinbase Institutional received 2.5 trillion Shiba Inu tokens, which is equivalent to approximately $31 million. Sure enough, just one deal. Huge shifts like this don't happen very often. People naturally start paying attention when anything out of the ordinary occurs in the market. Shiba Inu. Whales don't merely move about a lot. Then what is the true situation here? Is this the beginning of a greater endeavor? Is there a connection to the recently released Shibarium update? One of the most important measures for Shiba Inus just reached a new record high. Could this be a contributing factor? How about Bitcoin though? Because there's also some crazy stuff going on there. And you won't believe it. It's all related to Shiba Inu. We need to take a look at something else first, because it might explain why that massive Shiba Inu transfer occurred before we can attempt to understand it. Recently, the Shiba Inu group released an important update for both. Node operators were sent a fairly clear message with the update. Revise at this very moment. It was more than a regular patch. No time was spared. A long-lived bug that has irritated mobile users has been partially addressed in this release. No one has ever succeeded in shipping a Shiba Inu via MetaMask, unless you are you. An oversight in Shibarium's system caused a flaw that prevented transactions from going through. No longer an issue. We're all back on track now. Not long ago they also resolved an additional issue. There was some misunderstanding because the Shibarium site did not have mainnet snapshots. We have also resolved that. One thing is evident from all of this. The network is maturing into a more robust, user-friendly, and action-ready system. A signal is sent whenever issues of this kind are resolved. Not only to casual users but also to the major stakeholders observing from the field. What about the huge $31 million wired to Coinbase? Yes, I can see how things are coming together now. Another component of the jigsaw must be considered before we can get into the true motivation for that enormous Coinbase transfer. Despite appearances, it is actually quite large. Something that should have been more widely seen was brought to light by a Twitter user. They went on to say, that's not just hype. Those are actual provable figures. It also indicates that the number of Shiba Inu owners is at an all-time high. More money in the bank, more faith, more curiosity. Add to it the fact that the network is now even more stable, quick, and seamless thanks to the Shibarium update we discussed before. Everything falls into place at once. Now that the network is stable, the community is expanding at a rate never seen before. All this excitement is due to it. The Shiba Inu is once again the center of attention because of this. For that reason, when something of this magnitude goes down like the one to Coinbase, people start to worry whether something major is about to transpire. Finally, we can get down to the business of discussing possible explanations. What follows is our definitive knowledge. Whale Alert reports that 2.5 trillion Shibarium were moved from an unidentified wallet to an institutional Coinbase account. One of the largest platforms in the game received more than $30 million USD in a single transaction from an anonymous wallet. People tend to freak out if something major occurs. And it's not entirely surprising. You can always tell a whale is about to unload when it brings that many Shibarium to a trade. Everyone thinks a sell-off is on the horizon, followed by a price fall and then total mayhem. It's simply the way the web responds. Intensive, dramatic, and rapid. At the outset, it is always like that. However, there was a discrepancy with that story this time. It became apparent that this deal wasn't about a speedy sale as more details were revealed. It wasn't a last-ditch effort to avoid losing money. There was a connection to Coinbase Institutional, which isn't the platform for regular traders. Only serious players, funds, and persons with significant net worth should apply. Because of that, the plot twists completely. In most cases, this kind of action indicates one thing. Either a big investment firm or fund is getting set to make a long-term play, or they are planning to hold Shiba Inu safely. It might just include moving funds from an offline wallet to Coinbase's custody, where they will be safer. Not at all related to sales. It becomes pretty intriguing at this point. This kind of action by a whale at this time begs the question, especially if Coinbase Institutional is involved. Would you believe that Shiba Inu is Coinbase's secret weapon? When exchanges begin to operate covertly, it's usually because they have inside information that the general public is unaware of. The launch of new features, a collaboration, or an integration might all be in the works. This is all conjecture at this moment, but initially, everything happens in the background. That is the reason why I am filled with excitement at this very moment. Nothing here is trivial. Shiba Inus are experiencing a true phenomenon. We may be on the cusp of witnessing its unfolding too. You might be thinking, hold on a second, nothing major is happening, while you peruse the Shiba Inu pricing chart at the moment. Also, there hasn't been a huge price movement in the past day. Looking serene. Allow me to explain. Something is obviously shifting beneath that placid exterior. The trade volume of Shiba Inus has increased by around 90%, amassing about $271 million in 24 hours. There is a rationale behind the appearance of that level of volume. Everyone is buying, selling, and positioning. The market is picking up steam again, which indicates that attention has returned. And now for the catch. This is about more than just Shiba Inus. The wildest part is what's going on outside the Shiba Inu universe, and how it has the potential to alter everything. Stablecoin integration is supposedly in the early stages of discussion at Apple, X, Airbnb, and Google. Then give yourself a moment to process that. You won't find many businesses on this world smaller than these. Tech behemoths that permeate nearly every facet of human existence. And cryptocurrency payments are being considered. No joke. This kind of action indicates that big tech is no longer merely interested. Somebody is plotting. They are getting ready. This would be a huge step toward crypto permeating all aspects of society. A few short years ago, the very idea of bringing it up would have been completely insane. No one would have batted an eye. And this very now, it is transpiring. For that reason, a lot of people still find it hard to believe. Everything is falling into place, and doors are opening. Shibarium enhancements, Shiba Inu loudness, whale movements. It is everything occurring simultaneously. This is why it feels like such a monumental occasion. Everything we've discussed thus far suggests a major development in the market, but there's one factor we can't overlook when attempting to predict its ultimate trajectory. Thus Bitcoin was born. Talking about Shiba Inu or any other cryptocurrency is incomplete without mentioning Bitcoin. The king is still it. The entire market reacts to Bitcoin's movements. Regardless of our feelings about it, it establishes the tone. Bitcoin is presently trading at approximately $100,000. With no erratic fluctuations, crashes, or moonshots. Stay composed. That serenity. People get apprehensive when they encounter it. There seems to be a palpable sense of anticipation as everyone waits to see what happens next. Then, as things are starting to heat up again, a famous crypto researcher tweets out this surprise. By the middle of September or early October of 2025, I predict that Bitcoin prices will hover around the 140 to 150,000 mark. Legendary and life-altering will be the rally from 100,000 to 150,000. It's a daring forecast. But what if it does occur? It would truly be legendary, I'll admit. Furthermore, when you step back and consider all of our previous discussions, the network is running more smoothly thanks to the Shibarium updates. With the record-breaking $31 million Shiba Inu whale transaction into Coinbase Institutional, and now, significant tech revolving around stablecoins and crypto payments, the number of Shiba Inu holders has never been higher. Things begin to fall into place. Nothing here is trivial. Let me explain. Changes are occurring. Perhaps we are about to enter a new stage. Regarding Shiba Inus and the entire cryptocurrency market, no less. The next several months may be setting the stage for something far larger than everyone anticipates. Assuming Bitcoin truly does rise like that and Shiba Inu continues to build in the background like it has been. However, how do you feel about this? Give your thoughts in the space provided. Make sure you click on one of the videos you see on the screen if you are keen to find out more. After that, the video comes to a close. If you found the video enjoyable, please enable channel notifications. Do not take the chance of losing money by missing a crucial Shiba Inu update. Also, I'd really appreciate it if you could forward this video to everyone you know. We need to spread the word about this.